Danger, danger. The podcast you're about to listen to may contain spoilers, bad language, offensive themes, and material that is inappropriate for people under the age of 18. However, the podcast will definitely contain bad opinions. You have been warned. Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Anime Abroad podcast. I am your host Tom, and I am joined by Jonas.
Hello.
Kyle.
Hello.
And a very special guest today. We are joined by LouTalksAnime.
Yo, what up? And by very special, I think you overestimate me by large margins.
Not on this podcast. You are the most special guest for this podcast. I'm going to fill people in on a little bit of history.
I think we talked about this like 3 or 4 times now on the podcast.
That's not enough. That's not enough. We need to keep talking about it. So, once upon a time, a little infant child named Tom went on Twitter with wide eyes for the first time, using the podcast handle. And his job was to get some views for the podcast, basically, to shill and try and get some connections. Anyway, the first thing he did was follow a bunch of YouTubers and people he remembered, because he hadn't really poked his head up into the anime community for over a year. So one of those people was Lou, who I believe followed back quite soon after that. And then out of nowhere tweeted that people should check out of our podcast. And pretty much everything that's good that's happened to the podcast happened after that. So, I fondly started referring to Lou as the patron saint. Holy shit. The patron saint of the Anime Abroad podcast. So Lou, as our saint and savior, what do you have to say?
Bless you, child. Bless you. I mean, honestly, like, one thing I like to do in the community is I try to get attention to the people that deserve it, because even though that there aren't a lot of content creators in the community, there's still some people that aren't getting the recognition they deserve. And I make it a point to share when I like something, because I guess I'm in a position where I can do that at least to some extent. And I'm glad I helped you guys out. You know? Awesome.
I mean, I'm not going to say you moved the earth for us, but you gave us the push we needed to really start moving things. You and Jonas joining were really like the big catalyst. I mean, I have to mention it, or Jonas is going to start sulking.
Yeah. I was thinking.
No, after you shouted this out, we got, I think, 5 subs in a day or something. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but at the time we had like 45 subs.
Oh, for the margin, that's pretty good.
For the margin, it was amazing. We definitely like to lick Lou's bumhole on this podcast, but he has deserved it. And yeah, the first priority when it came to guests, really, after Holden happened, was getting Lou on the podcast. So I'm really happy we've been able to make that happen.
Well, thanks for having me on. This is going to be a good time.
We're planning to have more guests on the podcast, like, relatively soon. We have a few planned that are really cool, that we hope to have here on soon. It's going to be fun.
They haven't escaped from the basement yet, so I guess they're still good to go.
Yeah, I guess.
Jonas, those zip ties are working really nice.
Oh, boy.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so first order of business, as always, is to ask our dumb question of the week. So, if you could add any word to the Oxford English Dictionary, what would it be and why? Kyle, as the newest member of the Anime Abroad podcast, would you like to give this a whirl?
All right, yeah, sure. All right, let's see. If I'm going to add a new word to the dictionary, filamentization, which means...
Filamentization, okay.
Right. It means something that happens in anime that is your specific trigger. But it pertains to specifically anime fans. Specific trigger.
Oh, okay. Okay, so normie's not allowed, yeah?
Yeah, it's specific to anime. And so inside an anime, let's say your specific trigger is a plot reset. Let's say, season 2 of Aldnoah Zero happens and you are massively triggered.
Yeah, that filamentized me pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie.
I couldn't think of a proper word on the spot, so I just looked at the light bulb above me.
I mean, that's the definition of having an idea, right? The light bulb above your head. So
yeah, true.
Okay, Jonas.
I'm gonna go boring. Weeb. That's not in there yet, is it? I need an official definition to define myself.
Oh man, if it was that easy.
Okay, but what would your definition of weeb be? Because I think there's a lot of different definitions.
There's no real definition for it, is there? It's just, I don't... Hardcore anime fans? I mean, the original definition is kind of a little offensive, I guess.
If anything, I would say it would be, weeb should be an English translation to otaku.
True.
Instead of borrowing otaku.
Could be.
From the Japanese language.
I much prefer using the term weeb than otaku, personally. I don't think I've ever called anyone an otaku.
I think the last time I called myself an otaku was 2.5 years ago or something. It's a term I don't really like.
I think for most Western anime fans, otaku is almost... I don't want to say buzzword, but it's kind of... To me, it makes it sound pretentious when you call yourself or refer to someone else as an otaku. But then with weeb, it already denotes a negative context, so...
I mean, calling yourself an otaku is a pretty weeaboo thing to do, let's be honest. Okay, so weeb, in the dictionary, it's weeb derivative of the Japanese term otaku, which means a hardcore anime fan, yeah?
Basically, yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Lou, what's yours?
Plormy. It's a combination of pleb and normie, because these fucking normies need to know what they are. Having a word that describes them perfectly, because they are plebs, they are fucking normies. It works. It fits. I'm gonna fucking tweet it out right now. Going on my Twitter right now.
Nice.
Bunch of fucking plormies. There we go. That's my definition.
But plormies, does that denote an even more negative context than pleb or normie?
Abso-fucking-lutely. It's exponential.
Okay,
they are combining and multiplying.
Parts is greater than... Yeah.
Bunch of fucking... We're timestamping this right now with this tweet.
Yeah, we are.
Plormies.
So, can you give us an example of a plormy?
Am I a plormy?
No, you're not a plormy.
Is a plormy someone that just doesn't watch anime at all, or is a plormy someone that watches it but it's only
I'm thinking of Furbies right now. It's like a kid's toy.
Yeah, someone that doesn't watch anime. I guess fuckboy would be synonymous with plormy. I kind of view them on even footing. So
what about if someone watches anime but they watch the wrong anime?
I'm not judgmental in that regard.
Okay. I'm just checking because pleb is definitely a judgmental term.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going for full judgmental, but I don't think it applies in this context. Because I'm specifically targeting people who have the normie attribute. Which, if you watch anime in any capacity, you may not watch a lot of it, but I wouldn't call you a normie.
Okay.
I guess that makes sense.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay, my word is pacing. And I'm adding it to the dictionary because apparently no one knows what it fucking means. So pacing, I'm spelling it with an S, P-A-S-I-N-G, pacing. And the definition is when somebody has nothing constructive to say, this is a noise they make.
So wait, what was
pacing?
The word was pacing.
Yeah, pacing. P-A-S-I-N-G.
Passing.
No, that's double S.
All right.
Yeah. Pacing.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Yeah, I can. Oh, I hate Attack on Titan. Oh, why do you hate Attack on Titan? It has bad pacing. Is that all you have to say? Yes. That's my example.
To be fair, the pacing of Attack on Titan was rather bad.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with you.
I think, to be fair, there's starting to become quite a few words that get thrown around in the anime community that trigger me.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, but pacing's... I'm very defensive of Attack on Titan, and pacing's like, if you say to a person, you hate Attack on Titan, right? And they'll say yes, of course, because they've got an act to keep up, yeah? Then you ask them what's wrong with it, and they'll just say pacing, because that's the word their brain downloaded from the internet for why they should hate Attack on Titan.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot more wrong with Attack on Titan than just the pacing.
I agree. See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to criticize about Attack on Titan. I think pacing, Attack on Titan's pacing is one of the lesser complaints. I really feel like Attack on Titan's weak point is characters.
I mean, yeah, obviously, like the characters are like its worst part about it.
Yeah. And if someone's saying something bad things about Attack on Titan and they're like focusing on the characters, then that's someone you should be listening to. If they're just saying pacing, you can just move on, because they literally just watched a video online. And
Matt, you need to blame TV tropes, because that's the cause of all this. People wanting to write scripts and sound smart and finding words on there and using that to construct all their arguments. So fuck TV tropes. They're a bunch of fucking plormies.
So yeah.
Using the like, you could say instead of boring character, you could say, "Oh, Mikasa is a completely static character."
I mean, a lot of people do that, so
that I guess that would apply. Yeah, yeah. That'd be kind of cool actually. If every time you use like a quote unquote buzzword in a review, if you just try and like thesaurus it, something that people don't usually say.
Just right-click Microsoft Word.
Okay. So that's our question of the week. I don't feel like that was bad enough, to be honest. I feel like when we have guests on, I really feel like we need to scrape the bottom of the barrel for really bad questions of the week. So for the next guest, guys, I think we'll try and get
we're just trying
a much
to get
worse
David
question.
Again. He'll bring
we need
to bad questions of the week.
I'll fax David some like send me your questions of the week, dude.
Ask him for animal related questions, and we'll just replace animal with anime again.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess let's check in. Let's see what people have been doing. Kyle, what have you been up to?
I just finished Armitage 3 today, which is an anime that came out in the 90s. And the best way to describe it is a gritty cop drama with boobs. I mean, cool. Boobs and androids.
So it's like True Detective, yeah?
Yeah. It's kind of like True Detective meets Blade Runner in like a dystopian cyberpunk future. But it was... I mean... it was quite interesting, even though they were obviously going for a heavily fan service-laced kind of plot. To where, alright, like you live in the future and you obviously have androids, but then you have a new type of androids called thirds that are completely human up until...
Oh, yeah, I've heard about those third generation synths.
Yeah, And then
you can't even tell them apart.
And it's about this cop detective dude who hates androids.
I don't think anyone got that joke.
Nope.
Wait, so it's about a cop detective that hates androids.
Yeah,
so,
and for like a good reason. Like
iRobot.
he had quite a bit of a bad stretch in his previous run as a police officer, and so he gets paired up with this hotshot girl named Armitage, who wears a big trench coat, and under the trench coat there's kind of a dominatrix straps. That's the best way I can describe it. But it was a good anime. It was well drawn, and the plot was.
What's it called again?
Armitage 3.
Never heard of that.
I haven't heard of it either. It does sound really vintage, though.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty.
from like the early 2000s, right?
I think it was like 90s
or something.
Or it might have been. I think that's a stretch. I think it's like mid 90s. I never bothered to check. But other than that, I started watching Bubblegum Crisis again, which is another vintage anime from the 80s, I believe. And it was around that time when anime producers were leaning towards more of a female-centric main character kind of plots.
Okay, that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
I would very much like to be able to go back and watch old anime, because you see a lot of the same stuff nowadays, and I feel like there's a lot of types of shows that aren't being made anymore. Like the one you were just talking about, like it's a gritty police drama with androids and stuff like that. I mean, that doesn't sound like a show that would air in 2016, to be perfectly honest.
This would be such a good segue into our actual topic. It's actually kind of sad.
I know, dude. I'm doing it on purpose. Don't worry. But I just can't. I've said it a few times. I really struggle watching older anime. I don't know what it is.
Is it just the art style?
Yeah. It's just visuals. It's just the visuals. I think it's just. I feel like if I'd grown up on more old anime, it wouldn't be a problem. But because I started watching anime in like 2000, like there's very few of the early anime I watched were like older than like 06 or something. I don't know.
I think it just comes to a point where instead of getting used to it, I'd say your taste broadens greatly after watching so much, and then like you just don't mind. Because I remember back in time when I did not like moe anime at all, and
more segues.
Damn it! But yeah,
I mean. I like as the moe guy on this podcast, like I used to like not see the appeal at all, until I got into anime. I'd see people talking about like I didn't really see anyone talking about K-On! Before I watched it before I got into anime, but I'd see like people on Kotaku talk about K-On! And say like, oh, it's so boring. Like there's like they're literally just sitting around eating cake, and I just went like, I don't see the appeal of this. Why would anyone watch this? And then I watched K-On! It's like my favorite thing of all time. So, like, I think, I mean, there's worth in almost in like basically everything in every genre. I mean, and I'm not sure where I was going with this. I just completely lost my point, sorry.
Yeah, don't worry, you'll pick it back up again when we actually get onto that subject. Okay. So you've been watching old anime then, Kyle?
Pretty much.
That's good. We need someone on the podcast who watches old anime. I swear to God.
I just started Macross, the original.
Oh, nice. Min-Mei is definitely best girl.
Jonas, what about you? What have you been doing?
Same as you, I guess. StarCraft, a lot of it. I got back into StarCraft this weekend. Played like 50 games in 3 days or so, and yeah. I don't know. It's been a lot of fun again. Like I haven't played StarCraft in quite a while, and
I bet you anything I haven't played StarCraft for longer.
Probably, yeah. But yeah.
So yeah, I have also been getting back into StarCraft a little bit, but for me, it was never really about multiplayer. I played Wings of Liberty when that came out, and I really, really liked it. And then I haven't touched StarCraft since Wings of Liberty. I saw all the games were on sale during some big tournament. We got them all. Went back to the campaign, and I was like, about to start Heart of the Swarm, and I was like, I don't really remember what happened in Wings of Liberty. I'll just play through that again. So I spent £30 to replay a game from like 6 years ago.
Nice.
But I've been loving it. I have been loving it. And I want to get to gold in multiplayer. I think that's the one set with myself.
That's the league I'm in right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be platinum. I'm still not good at StarCraft. I wish I was, but I don't know. I can help you some more if I actually get my PC to work again.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because StarCraft is a super fascinating game. It's kind of hard to get into, but
it's like computer chess.
I mean, kind of, yeah. A lot of people say usually say it's a mixture of chess and poker.
Saying like an esport is like computer chess is like saying a game is the Dark Souls of blank.
That actually is a good segue for what I've been doing.
Have you been playing Dark Souls?
Yeah, but specifically the first one. The thing is, I stepped away from gaming for a good 10 years. I haven't played anything in the past two console generations. I haven't touched anything PC past two console generations, and I've been gradually playing catch up with some of the more notable titles from that time period. So, for example, starting with Psychonauts, and then working my way through Portal, and now I'm starting the first Dark Souls, and it's been lots of fun.
I really, really want to play Dark Souls. Like, I'm not really much of a single player person. Like, usually when I start a single player game, I don't get bored of it necessarily, but I just don't have the motivation to continue at some point. I mean, I did that with Persona, I did that with Child of Light, I did that with Mass Effect, I did that with so many games. But like Dark Souls seems like this the concept of it being super hard and like seems so appealing to me somehow. Like
it's so much more than that, and it's also I like when you think of a single player game, Dark Souls has no upfront narrative whatsoever. Mm-hmm. It's just you and this world, and the world is pretty much the first and the biggest enemy you have to fight through the entire game, because I don't know, it's very difficult to, and people have written really good pieces breaking down why Dark Souls works. Mm-hmm. But Dark Souls is a game that just like connects with you on a fundamental level that not a lot of other games do, and it's also a big misconception about Dark Souls is it's not actually that hard. It just demands patience. Mm-hmm. And that for modern gamers, patience is not something that comes easily. So, I mean, anyone can beat Dark Souls. There's like articles of housewives picking up Dark Souls, and it's the first game they've ever played and being able to beat it. Mm-hmm. Like, Dark Souls is not a difficult game to beat, but it just it demands things of you that no other games demand from you, and I feel like that's the reason why that series has just found so much respect.
I can see that, yeah. I mean, it still sounds super rewarding to me. Like it sounds like exactly the type of game I'd love to play. So I just wish my PC could actually run it. Yeah. I need to work on that on fixing that because.
So how far into the first Dark Souls are you?
So basically just cleared the tutorial and, started exploring. Haven't really done anything specific to the story because I want to grind a little bit to start establishing my build. And then gonna go from there.
Okay. I don't want to tell you I really don't want to tell you much, but I don't think that's necessarily the right mindset for Dark Souls because grinding doesn't really exist in Dark Souls. Other than material grinding, like for upgrades. But if you're like grinding for practice, that's definitely viable. But
I'm just trying to get used to the control scheme because it's very different. Okay. from what I'm used to, you know.
Okay, yeah. No, that in that case, that's very good. The earlier areas of Dark Souls, like Undead Burg, are really, really good for that because it's just lots and lots of little enemies in different arrangements and different like attack patterns for you to kind of get used to the controls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the game design in that first area in Dark Souls is really good. There's like books written about it. Okay, what have I been doing? Not much. Working. And playing games. That's about it, really, I guess.
Watching Grisaia.
So
forcing me to watch
yeah.
Grisaia.
Oh, yeah.
You mean the best anime?
We're going to talk about that.
Clearly.
Only the highest quality anime adaptations.
Exactly.
So my experience with rewatching Grisaia has been pretty unique, actually. And that's because of Jonas.
That's a fun way to say it.
What was more frustrating, watching Grisaia or making me watch Grisaia?
Making you watch Grisaia, definitely, because I like Grisaia, dude. I mean, it's got loads of flaws, but I think it's super endearing.
It has really, really endearing. Like, I mean, we should probably not talk about it here, but it has some really, really endearing parts. Like, there's some parts about it I love a lot, but other parts make me so sad, but for the very, very wrong reasons. And not exactly the reasons they want me to be sad for.
We'll definitely save talking about Grisaia as an anime for the podcast, but talking about it as an experience, we can definitely do that. we were tasked by the late David Jones to watch Grisaia for the podcast, and that, like, getting back into the swing of doing like series discussions is something we've had on the cards for a while, but we're really, really bad at actually watching the things. So I've been kind of a bit militant, and turns out that's what we needed, because Jonas, oh my goodness. Jonas, I've described Jonas as being like a cat. He just doesn't do what you want him to do.
I mean, like, in all seriousness, I don't blame him for being hesitant about the anime of Grisaia.
It's not even necessarily Grisaia. I mean, I did enjoy like our time watching Grisaia. Quite frankly, it was a fun time watching it with you. But I hate being forced to watch anime. I hate it. It's like
it was so funny. Like you'd be on Discord chatting with people. I'd come on and say, "Oi, let's watch Cassie," and you'd be fucking gone. You're like, I'm cleaning my PC, and then he'd be gone, and then he would pop up on Twitter like half an hour later, tweeting happily, and I'll fucking tweet at him like, "Yo, Cassie," and he's fucking gone.
I'm not
he
even
won't say anything. He'll just duck on me.
I'm not even gone. I continue tweeting. I just ignore you. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, we got to our milestone, which was episode 6, because that's like if we absolutely detest watching something, then there's a breakout clause, which is 6 episodes for the discussions. So we've got to episode 6, and Jonas did say afterwards that he might be interested in watching the rest of it.
that's farther
we do
than
have like
I
a
made
month.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I mean, like, I think it's a
it's
difference
not that bad.
Because it depends on if you played the visual novel first, I think.
I suppose. So you've played the visual novel,
right?
Okay.
Like my major irks about the Grisaia anime adaptation is just condensing the plot to such a state where it's just a crazy ride from start to finish, and you don't remember anything.
Episode 6 was one of the worst experiences I've had in a long time.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch more then. This gets better.
Oh god. I think it's
better in the right. Yeah.
Which route are they in on episode 6?
Okay, it's an entire route into put into one episode.
Yeah, it is. They do all of Blackhead Girl. Yeah, all of her route is in one episode. Yeah.
Yeah, Sakaki has a 20-hour route in the visual novel that they condense into one episode. And I noticed they change it too, because like it's not, they put a lot of anime original parts in it.
God. That's funny.
Putting 20
But,
hours of gameplay.
that show's had like we got to like episode 6, and I've spotted at least 3 different EDs. Like this show clearly had budget. Why the fuck wasn't it longer?
I mean, budget doesn't really have to do much with how long a series runs. So
Yeah, but they could have made it longer.
I wish
That's
they
my
would have
point.
made it longer, and it would have needed to
Plus-
be like a
yeah,
50
Plus,
episode
they
show.
were.
Clearly they had like fucking spare money lying around.
But I mean, like
because they made so many fucking
they were
EDs.
character songs for the EDs, right?
I'm not entirely
Yeah,
sure.
I think so.
Did they
So
sell them as
there's like
character
one
songs?
general one. There's like one general one where like they're on little planets and stuff, if I remember right.
Mm. But
But yeah, after the Mitru arc finished, Mitru had her own ED, and there was definitely another one I've seen as well.
All right.
yeah, Grisaya's anime is not that good. We'll talk about it in a later
But
episode.
we'll save our like straight up Grisaya discussion for our straight up Describe discussion episode.
Okay. I'm looking forward.
Okay. So I guess we should get on to our topic, which I imagine. So I imagine we're like 30 minutes in, and there's people that have read the description, the title for this episode, and have been like, like grinding their teeth, gnashing, waiting for us to get into the topic.
Oh, those boys
so
are talking
fucking
about
triggered.
Moe shit again.
I mean, to be fair, if I wasn't on this podcast, that would probably be me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I asked the most important question that the human race has ever raised, and that is Moe killing anime?
Yes.
Short answer, no. Long answer, no.
Well, it depends. Like, to me, it depends on what kind of anime you're talking about destroying. Like, if you're talking
here's
about...
the thing.
Like, if you're if you're talking about why, let's say, like, generally popular anime, like, let's say, like, mainstream anime, like, I believe it's hurting it. It's not killing it. Because to me, like, when I see, let's say, like, I look up on AmiAmi and I see merchandise, like Super Pochiko figures, which, to me, like, in my experience, are the bane of anime society. But,
those are just like Super Sonico figures that are like really
to like
chubby, right?
shorten it into like just one paragraph. When people buy a certain type of merchandise or show an interest, like the anime studios pick up on that and they want to push more of that out. I believe a lot of times.
I mean, that's Moe.
Yeah.
That's the story of Moe.
Pretty much.
Like boiled down, pretty much.
Yeah. So Moe isn't killing it. I enjoy my fair share of Moe, but a lot of times I feel like we could be enjoying more broadly popular anime were it not for Moe.
The thing is, like, obviously, this is...
I kind of disagree with that. I actually... Okay, so my point is Moe... Obviously, Moe is not killing anime. I think 2016 is the best example of this. 2016 is, like, such a fucking good year for anime. And if you look at the big anime from 2016 to this point, it's been so diverse, like, the types of anime we've gotten.
I mean, like,
it's really cool to
even
watch.
like around the time when like apparently all we ever got was Moe. Apparently, I mean that was the time when shows like Steins Gate came out, shows like Phase Zero, shows like Madoka Magica. Come on, guys! Like
Madoka Magica is pretty
Moe
Moe.
isn't fucking killing anime. It's not fucking true in the slightest. Like,
Well, I would say it's killing it. I would say
Probably the main contributing factor in that is that more anime is being produced.
like you have to see
If not
you have
for
to
that,
see it
then
in
the
that
argument
way,
could be made.
because there's more anime being produced every year than the year before. And like obviously, like Moe isn't going to stop producers and studios from making like broad popular anime.
Yeah.
But then it's also taking away focus from broad and popular anime to where
that's actually kind of my point.
Like, yeah.
This is the point I was going to make, is I feel like Moe didn't harm anime, but I do feel like there's a good chance that the Moe craze, which is pretty much on its way out by this point. I mean, if you look at 2016, the most Moe show we've got, I think, is Tanaka-kun, and that's like...
no.
It's like not what you would expect from Moe at all.
Sancho-san, Panda Piece, they still exist.
Okay, maybe, but I feel like Moe definitely had some impact on people's outside perspective on anime. I feel like for a time people were looking at anime from the outside and seeing things like K-On! And thinking, this is what anime is? I feel like, and this is a point we're going to get to, is that Moe is just a trend. There's been lots of trends.
Absolutely.
The current trend is like high school battle shonens, like
100.
Asterisk War.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. That's the current trend. That's the trend that's kind of overtaken Moe. And I feel like that's just as harmful as Moe was for the same reasons.
I was fine with
I would argue that I mean, they're both not very harmful. I don't like the new trend, frankly. I just don't like it, but it's far from being harmful to the medium. It's then...
Well, when I say harmful, I guess what I said is they're as harmful as each other, which I guess I didn't say isn't that harmful.
Okay, yeah.
I think what you might be trying to say is that it's hurting the perspective of outside people on anime.
Possibly. That's very hard.
But here's
it's a very hard statement to prove.
To me, that's kind of like, why should I care? I don't really...
No.
Sorry, go ahead, dude.
No, I feel like we should care. I do feel like we should care.
But that aside, I would actually argue more, because I know people that are only aware of like high profile shows, and they have, as far as I know, they're completely unfamiliar with Moe at all. Because
I feel like
ultimately,
was a high profile show.
That those outside perspectives are basically exposed to what gets licensed and put on television, right? So here in the States, that would basically be Toonami shows, which never feature Moe. So
yeah,
at least on this side, on the broad scale, anime is just dudes fighting.
Yeah, I mean, what do you have that's popular? One Punch Man, Attack on Titan, Sword Art Online, kind of erased in a way. Those are like the most popular shows. It's not like Moe has ever been like this really huge thing in the West. The biggest thing in the West was K-On! And K-On! is never popular in the West. It's well known, but only within the community itself. Like everyone in the community knows K-On!, but go out and ask anyone that like casually watches Sword Art Online and Attack on Titan like from time to time. That's it. And they won't know K-On!.
Maybe not now, but I think when K-On! was in its peak, I feel like yes, they would. But now, no, and I don't think there's an equivalent to K-On! Now either. But yeah, K-On! was big.
I mean, K-On!
when it was airing,
the reason K-On!
was really talked about.
I mean, the reason why K-On! was as influential as it was is not because it was popular here, but because it was popular in Japan. I mean, it is I think season 2 was one of the best-selling shows of the past decade, if I remember correctly. But that never really took off over here. I mean, as I said, people had heard about it, and there was a lot of fans of it, and there was a lot of people hating it. I think like the peak of K-On! Getting popular was like when Giggig made his review of it. That was like the peak of popularity for it. Like people heard about it, and people knew like, oh, this is apparently boring. But very few, I don't think there were that many people that had watched it. If you know,
yeah,
does that make sense?
That might be true. That might be true. But if we're talking about influence, it's not necessary for people to have watched K-On! For them to have been influenced by it.
I guess, yeah. But
people looking at K-On! Fans and images of K-On! And getting mad is still an influence. You know, I
guess, yeah, that makes senes.
Even if it's pretty.
I guess my point was just that, like, outside of the anime community, there was no one knowing it. Like, there's no one that really hears about K-On! Before hearing about Sword Art Online, One Punch Man, Attack on Titan, those kind of shows.
Yeah, that is 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think any of us, and anyone ever would, claim that K-On! Was the biggest anime at any point in history. But I do feel like that if people took more than so say someone, like, first anime they ever watched, Sword Art Online, they just got in. If that person then starts looking into anime a bit more, at that time, K-On! Would have come up.
Oh yeah, probably. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that very much speaks for just how diverse anime is. And I think that's a very positive thing, in fact. It's, you go from all these really huge scale battle shonen, that have been super fun to you. And like, I had this with Haruhi. It might have been Haruhi, actually. Well, I watched a ton of relatively popular stuff, some somewhat underground stuff, like Claymore, etc., those kind of shows. And then I somehow found out about Haruhi. I think it was on a random top list on the internet. Thought, like, this looks kind of cool, but really different from what I usually watch. And just watched that and really liked it. It's, you come from these really big shonen shows and see something completely different. I think that doesn't necessarily turn you away. It just shows you how diverse the medium is. I don't think that's a negative influence at all.
Okay, so if we're looking at, like, total product, then yeah. But I feel like the problem, we have to zoom in to find out what people's problems with Moe were, which is the fact that there was an awful fucking lot of it being made. And yeah, I guess obviously the video we're referencing here with this discussion said that that guy thought that Moe was stifling creativity, right? And I feel like I definitely understand that frustration.
I understand.
However,
it's ignorant. I'm sorry, but it's an ignorant point.
It is because if Moe wasn't popular at that time, that studio would not be making a masterpiece. They would be making whatever else was fucking popular at that time.
Exactly.
Like, the studios that pumped out Moe garbage are now pumping out things like 100. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think I'm thinking about it right now. Who pumped out all the Moe garbage?
Okay, maybe studios is the wrong term, but you know what I mean. The projects, maybe.
I mean, yeah, like that kind of, like, obviously, there's always going to be trends. There's always going to be shitty trends. Shitty shows for a trend, I guess, was probably a better way to say it. So, like, yeah, basically what you said.
I mean, like, if you have a team, if you're making an anime, and I don't know a whole lot about how anime get made, but I feel like this is common sense. If you have a team and you're making an anime, and you have no good source material to adapt, you have no talent on your staff, and you have no budget, what do you go to? You go to whatever the fuck is like the most popular thing at that time, because that's all you have available to sell your anime. So
that's not really how it works.
I mean, what would you do in that situation? If you're like a really budget team?
That's the thing. Studios don't usually choose what they want to adapt. It's more like people come there and say, please adapt this. We want to push this right now. This is popular. We want to push this. Anime is usually used as an advertisement. So people usually not Kadokawa, for example, as an example. Come with them with a new light novel series. They want to advertise some more. Give it to a studio, say on Pictures, and tell them, please adapt this, make an anime of this. We want this to be more popular. That's how it works usually. So yeah.
So what do you guys think? Are you guys got anything to add?
It's like, as I said, like, I love my fair share of Moe, but then I think it's just the quality consistency that for me, it drains from it. Because, like, let's say, like, this season we have like two comparable Moe shows, like Sancha Sanyo and then Pande Peace, which, I mean, I believe
Tanaka-kun is like the most Moe show I've seen this season.
Unlucky's also a thing, but I haven't seen that one either.
Tanaka-kun is so Moe. It's kind of Moe, because it doesn't focus on girls doesn't mean it's not Moe. Tanaka-kun is super Moe.
As for two anime that almost solely, well, I mean, as the major topic focus on Moe, it's like, I believe Pande Peace and Sancha Sanyo are in like two entirely different spectrums of, what is the word, quality. As I mean, you see Sancha Sanyo has a really great cast of dynamic characters that just work really well together. And then Pande Peace is about bread and cute girls. Like, quite literally. I mean, there's nothing to read deeper into that. It is literally about girls enjoying bread.
I mean, that kind of has to do with it being like 3 minutes long, but...
I mean, yeah.
Probably, yeah, but... Yeah, Pan and Piece isn't very good, sadly. I've heard really good things about Sancho Sanya. Like, I really, really want to watch it.
What about Shonen Maid? That looks pretty moe.
I'm not sure if it's right.
I haven't seen it, so
like Shonen Maid. We've seen a few episodes of, and it's basically I should have thought of this word for the dictionary question, but it does that story archetype of changing environments for the main character instantly. It's sort of like the instant girlfriend scenario of anime, but instead MC is now living as a maid at this dude's mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't call it moe since it's hard.
Really feel moe.
It's hard to say because there's moe elements in everything nowadays.
I mean, the character designs are kind of moe, I guess.
Yeah. I can say the character designs are moe, but then like it does use, like obviously MC kind of looks like a girl, and they also make him wear a maid outfit. But yeah.
I'm actually looking through AniChart for spring, and there really isn't a lot of things that jump out as moe.
Absolutely not.
Like,
I think there's maybe
way more.
3 shows. This is a very action-heavy season.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, I think the current trend, like I say, is the thing like, okay, so we've got Endride, we have Asterisk War Season 2, we have
I think
Hundreds.
I think a lot of what is the current trend, since anime is made the way Jonas described, where you have different producers and production groups coming together to commission studios to make certain things. Since the current trend in light novels is that particular genre of like magical high school, that anime is being influenced by that. So I would say it's not a trend in anime, it's a trend in light novels that are being translated into anime. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you look at anime original content, it's not really something that you find there.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. I absolutely love anime original content, by the way. I'm not sure if I've ever said this, but like anime original stuff is like my favorite thing. Just look at Kiznaiver.
I couldn't agree. I could not agree more. That's
I
why
miss Cassie right now.
Although, like, it depends. It also depends on the quality.
I'm with you for Kiznaiver, dude. Sorry, Kyle.
Because, like, you have. I remember before the season started looking up all the anime and seeing, like, holy shit, we have so many original anime this season. And then I remember the first one we started was Endride. And after finishing the first episode, me and Jared said, yeah, this is not an original anime for our age.
Yeah, it's. I haven't seen it, but I've heard relatively bad things about it.
The weapons are like Fisher Price toys.
Well, that's the only thing I know. It's like self-insert Guilty Crown.
Right. Okay. I mean, isn't that what Guilty Crown was?
I mean, yeah. But I mean, it
I'm
almost
thinking about Guilty Crown, the protagonist of Guilty Crown. And I can't remember anything. I think it's like a mirror. Like,
oh no!
They wanna, I want to see myself in this guy, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah. I mean, that's the point of like pretty much most anime, and that's why, like you said, the magical high school thing is getting really popular because it's self-insert for its demographic.
Yeah.
Like
the only, I'm just thinking about it. The only thing I actually remember about the MC of Guilty Crown is when he was a dick for like 2 episodes. You remember that?
I
haven't seen it.
I still look back at Guilty Crown as I look at it fondly, but then I remember the second season, and then it all just goes to shit.
Yeah. So, what do we actually individually think of moe? I feel like that's kind of important to establish for this discussion. Lou, you've been kind of quiet. What do you think about moe?
I enjoy good moe. I don't want to throw out the blanket statement of I love all moe, because that's definitely not the case. I've dropped plenty of moe shows. But again, like specifically shows like Nanan Biori or Is the Order a Rabbit. Those are good shows that are moe that I think more people should watch. So yeah, I have no problems with the genre. It's not my favorite genre, but it is something I do tend to enjoy from time to time. Like I think a lot of it has to do with the mood that I'm in when I'm going to watch a show. Usually moe is something that I'll watch after work, after a long day of work, when I need to wind down and I just need a relaxing setting. When I don't have the energy for the hype shows. When I can't watch a Fate, when I don't have the energy to pay attention to a Fate Zero, when I just need something kind of on in the background. What would have been a battle shonen back in the day is now moe for me, and it's a good time.
Yeah. Okay. And Jonas, we know your opinions on moe.
I don't think I need
to fucking hates it, yo.
It's awful.
Anti-moe.
Yeah, it's killing anime.
Jonas is the biggest alpha male I've ever seen. Holy shit! All he watches is Tokyo Ghoul on repeat.
Yeah, I don't ever watch anything but Tokyo Ghoul, Sword Art Online. I've watched Sword Art Online 10 times now. It's brilliant.
No,
I love that part where I can insert myself into Kirito, especially. That sounded really wrong.
Hey man, this is a safe space. You can say whatever you want.
Depends on which Kirito as well, dude.
Okay.
I mean, if you're talking about GGO Kirito, then I think more people could appreciate
definitely, man, definitely.
Is Clannad moe?
Yes.
No. I mean, it's not a moe.
It has. All right, it's not moe, but it has elements.
It has elements in it. I mean, it's kind of hard to actually describe, to define what exactly is moe anyway. I think Anime Everyday made a good video about the problems in discussing moe at some point.
All right, I have a harder question. Is euphonium moe?
Yes. It's the same kind of moe as Clannad is, I think. It's not a slice of life comedy in terms of... It's not a slice of life comedy-ish moe. But it definitely has moe designs. It has parts to it that are kind of moe, like the early episodes especially.
I would argue the other side of it. The drama is something that surfaces from time to time, but it's predominantly a slice of life comedy. I would say. I
would disagree with that. I think the drama
isn't a dominant element in the show. It's something that it's important. It's central to the narrative.
I mean, that's kind of like. Yeah, that's kind of like what I was saying about K-On!
I don't think...
K-On! Is not a coming-of-age story. It is a moe comedy with coming-of-age aspects.
I don't... for K-On! I can see that. For Eupho, I disagree strongly. I think for Euphonium, the drama is the main point of the show. And the comedy is there to... I mean, it exists, but it's not... It's far from the main focus of the show. The main focus of the show is to explore... passion in the lens of Kumiko and Reina. That is the main theme and the main reason for the show to exist, and the drama around it is the way it explores that, and that's the main point, in my opinion. Whereas K-On! I still believe it to be a slice of life, not a slice of life, a coming of age series. Of course, a slice of life as well. That he mainly uses comedy to get across its themes, as well as the occasional kind of dramatic parts to finish off those themes. That's my opinion.
There's 1 or 2 dramatic episodes out of 30 or 40, right?
When Moogie steals the strawberry.
There's a few more relative to strawberry. I fucking love Moogie so much.
One thing I don't see people talk about as much is, I guess you could call it a genre, inspirational. Or K-On! I believe has an inspirational / adventure element, since, as with not a lot of popular, or not, I should say, as with a lot of moe anime, it has a plot to it, or I should say, it has an end goal line that the girls have, as become like a band. You know what I mean? I think.
I mean, but is that really an element of moe?
No, I wouldn't call it. So. It's not an element of moe. I'm just saying. Let's see. You could almost say it says it's with everything because it's just how much moe does it have in it. Because I would argue that K-On! I don't like K-On! Because it's moe, but I did not enjoy the moe. It didn't detract from my enjoyment.
The enjoyment I got out of K-On! Was a comedy, and that's about it. Like, I guess I never said what my views on moe are. Moe doesn't do a single goddamn thing for me. I don't dislike it, but I can't. I know. I feel like a lot of the time I'm pushing moe out of the way to see what's really there, because I feel like a lot of the time moe is just a distraction. It's just filler. It's like, we're gonna have.
I think.
I'm not necessarily talking about K-On! here. I'm talking about a lot of the moe shows I've seen. That's how I feel it is, Jonas. I'm not saying that for everyone, but this is how I feel. Is just,
I generally dislike the idea of completely ignoring a certain part of a show to try and look at quote unquote what's behind it, because I don't think that's really how.
But I mean, why wouldn't you do that if what's in front of it doesn't interest you in the slightest?
I mean, I guess
surely you want to try and find something in a show that you enjoy.
Okay, good. That's okay. It sounded like you were trying to say, like, you try to look at what the show's like. It kind of reminded me of like The Snob, I guess, where it's kind of like moe is dumb. Don't look at moe. Look at the serious part of the show. I just really don't like that mindset. That's kind of what it sounded.
So long and short of it, Jonas thinks you're full of shit.
Exactly.
And fuck you for not liking Moe.
No, this is well established.
Moe is the best, and everybody should watch Moe, especially Nanan Buri. Nanan Buri's
the best.
Great.
Yes.
I do need to get around to... The thing is for me, like, I've been looking at my mal and seeing, like, what the highest rated, like, moe shows are, and they don't do very well. I don't have a single moe series above 8, but I'd say my favourite moe things are like Love Lab, Yuri Yuri, and K-On!, and that's just because I found them funny, especially Yuri Yuri and Love Lab. Like, I'm not like reveling in the moe at all. I do pretty much ignore the moe because the moe doesn't interest me or entertain me in any way. But the comedy does. You know, they could have been drawn ultra realistic, and I would have had more or less the same enjoyment. Other than the times where it's visual comedy, other than the visual comedy.
What
aspects.
do you define moe as? Because, like,
well, that's the thing. Moe is very difficult to define. Like, it's like moe is not even a genre. It's like a feeling, right?
Technically, I mean, like, I was just going to say, like, what do you consider moe? Because like the way you described it just kind of sounded like you mean moe in terms of like the character designs, etc.
I mean, character designs can be moe.
Yeah, absolutely, not denying that. It's just like because for me, the way I consider moe throughout this podcast now is kind of as like a way a show is built, I guess. Like, for example, this is a moe show because it has very cute designs. It's a slice of life, a very comedy-heavy slice of life. That's kind of...
I have an answer.
What about, like, hardcore moe shows? Like, shows that don't do anything but moe, pretty much. Like, AKB 0048.
Kyle.
I heard really good things about that
show. Shows that don't do anything but moe don't do anything. Like, moe's not a genre, you know what I mean?
Like Tom, I'm gonna have to force you to watch AKB 0048 sometime.
You have that right. When it comes to your turn to make us watch a series on the rotation, you can absolutely pick whatever you want.
Oh, you guys!
And I'll have to watch 6 episodes.
Oh yeah, I'll make you guys regret that decision.
I want to watch that show, to be honest. I want to watch that show. So.
All right, like I see.
So here's my.
Or you go.
Go on. Oh, okay, I'll go.
You just disguised
me. Jonas, my answer. Moe is a delivery mechanism. You can deliver comedy, you can deliver drama, you can deliver lots of different things via moe.
Then I would argue
that's
that
my
there's
answer.
a lot of shows this season that are moe. Somewhat moe. Something like Onmyoji-no, The Exorcist and Twin Star Exorcists, In a Way ReZero, Shonen Anime, definitely. In a way, even Super Lovers. Netoge, like all of those shows are then in a way moe because they have that delivery.
Super Lovers is poe.
I think my favorite moe this season. You can guess what the P stands for. My favorite moe this season is definitely Kumamiko.
Oh yeah, Kumamiko as well, definitely. I mean, it's like to come back also to your point that you said earlier that something like Love Lab or Yuri Yuri could have had more realistic designs and it could have been just as much fun. For once, I disagree with that. I don't think that would work at all. I think that'd kill all the fun.
I did say, aside from the visual comedy.
Okay, good. For once, the visual comedy has to exist, and I don't think that realistic character designs with it, that kind of comedy would work.
I think a lot of the time it comes down to like what the majority like because
okay, actually, Jonas, Love Lab, the majority of a large proportion of the comedy in Love Lab is snap cut slapstick comedy. Mm-hmm. That can work in live action. It doesn't
work in live action. It doesn't work. Love Lab does not work in live action.
What about the tackle sequence? Like when they're doing the whole testing of the bumping into the guy to get him to notice. It's like that sequence wouldn't work in realistic designs. Because she fucking
I'm not saying shot for shot. I'm not saying shot for shot. You can recreate Love Lab in live action. All I'm saying is that slapstick is one of the oldest forms of live action comedy there is. Slapstick goes back to black and white silent movies.
That may be true. The thing is that Love Lab, the way Love Lab works in its comedy is not that it's just slapstick. It's incredibly over the top. It has its facial expressions are such a huge part as to why it's funny. Its good animation is such a huge part as to why it's funny. A lot of it's the voice acting as well. The voice acting as well, but I think the animation and the designs are much more important in that case. And faces,
I agree. There's a lot of
faces, etc. do not work with more realistic designs. The cute, like the kind of cutesy, very like as you would describe moe designs for Love Lab are what, in my opinion, makes a lot of this as fun as it is.
I'd say it doesn't stop them from doing it all the time. Like I watch a few like Japanese live action dramas, and I've noticed that a lot of them, like I'll say specifically the hero Yoshihiko, include elements from anime, including the moe elements, because they have a female character who a lot of the time does the same thing, like you said, like bumping into protagonist, trying to get senpai to notice her. It has a lot, like it does. I would say it's weird when it's turned into a 3D medium, but they doesn't stop them from doing it all the fucking time.
But I mean specifically in Love Lab, it's cartoony to the point where it looks like she fucking runs her over.
Yeah.
So it's that exaggeration of the moe trope is why I don't think Love Lab would work.
I'm going to link this really quick how it looks in Love Lab, so you know how this looks. But because you need like Love Lab is not a realistic show at all. It's very over the top in almost every aspect, and as I said, a lot of the comedy comes from that being over the top and being extremely like cartoonish, as Lou said, and that doesn't work either in live action, and I don't think it works with realistic designs.
Okay, but this is what this is one of the problems of recording a podcast with one of the most easily triggered people I've ever met, because I will make a statement which is not absolute, and Jonas will interpret it as an absolute statement. My point is that a lot of the comedy in Love Lab is slapstick. Okay. A lot of it is also visual, and a lot of it is cartoonish, but a lot of it is slapstick, and that absolutely can be done in live action. Like you could make a one-off Love Lab live action comedy that is absolutely hilarious. It wouldn't be the same as the anime. You cannot do that, obviously, but you could translate parts of the comedy from Love Lab into live action and have it be very, very funny.
I don't think it'd.
That was
I
my
don't
point.
think it'd be nearly as good as the anime.
I think that entirely depends on how it's done. I think it could be funnier. I think it could be less funny.
I think
Absolutely, it could be
the
funnier.
thing about Love Lab, as I said, is that, like, I've said this several times now, but the thing that makes Love Lab funny is, I said, it's a slapstick comedy. It's the reactions, and I believe that the way the anime can display reactions is much more free than the way that live action can display reactions, and I think that makes it much.
Yes, but that's not the only thing. Yes, live action cannot do facial reactions. I know that,
Yes.
Jonas, but that's not the only aspect of Love Lab's comedy.
But it's the one that makes it funny.
Obviously, they would focus on other things, and they absolutely could make something that is as funny or funnier.
I don't think that if we take the jokes from Love Lab, I'm not talking about like changing the show completely, because that would be. We're talking like that, right? Just keeping the jokes and
it would not be one-to-one. It would not be one-to-one.
obviously.
You would have to adapt. That's what the word adaptation is.
Obviously.
Adapt.
But like, would it be the same jokes?
It would be this. Well, it depends. It depends if the jokes would work in live action. Some wouldn't. Some would.
Because
You take a comedy genius and you put them on a Love Lab live action, and I guarantee you they will make something fucking hysterical, dude. Because, like I say, there's a lot of it that is translatable, that is adaptable. Not all of it is completely... Like, can you imagine if Love Lab was a show where it was literally just funny faces and that's the whole show? Like, that's not what Love Lab
obviously,
is.
yeah, but
Love Lab is a lot of different comedy styles.
the funny faces work together with the funny faces work.
They use it as a reactionary element.
Exactly. And that is what makes the show
But
fun.
see, they still do that in
I disagree with that. I feel like it is a combination of many things that makes the show fun. It is not just the funny faces.
I mean, yeah, I agree. But I think the funny faces themselves and the entire way the show is portrayed and animated is a very, 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 very big part of what makes the show good. It's the same for Yuri Yuri, and not for K, not necessarily, but I believe that an animated form of Love Lab, if we just stick with the same jokes, otherwise we can't really compare it as well, because we don't know the jokes that would be used otherwise. If we stick to the same jokes, an animated version of Love Lab will always be superior to a live action, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, because you're not adapting, you're sticking...
I mean, you can... I mean, this is adapted from a manga, and they basically took most of the jokes that are in the manga. And if you were to adapt that manga into live action, I don't think it would work. Because that manga alone already has this very cartoonish feeling. And the anime builds upon that by making the animation very cartoonish.
What I would say is, at this point, it seems like we're arguing between adapting and translating. Because if it was adapted for live action, they would change things to suit the medium. It definitely couldn't translate into live action, but I think it could be adapted and reworked into a live action piece. Now, since I don't watch live action shit,
I mean,
because
that's what I've been saying. Like, the word adapt is the root of adaptation, and adapt is change.
I wouldn't enjoy it.
The thing is just that...
Fucking plormies.
Basing it on the manga, I don't personally don't see much of a way to really adapt it well into live
honestly,
action.
I don't want to be patronising here, Jonas, but I feel like you're confusing your lack of interest with a lack of potential. I feel like... you would definitely be less interested in live action because you don't want to watch anything that's set in reality. I don't hold that against you, dude. I don't. Like, a lot of people stay away from live action stuff. But that doesn't mean that it couldn't be as good to other people. I mean,
to other people, sure. I mean, yeah. This is...
I mean, let me ask you a question, Jonas. Do you think there's any live action comedy that exists right now that you would enjoy more than anime comedy?
I've frankly not seen many live action comedies.
I mean, my point is maybe you're not the best person to be discussing live action versus anime comedy then, because...
I mean, maybe, but...
Yeah, because he's
you're
not
very biased towards one.
Seriously.
Yeah, we need to get the plormies in here.
It's
Please
bastards.
it's a difference. It's easy. I would say it's easier to make a live action comedy work than an anime because simply the fact that you're not.
I would actually disagree with that.
The aspect I'm thinking of is you've already have a live human character that's trying to portray your character instead of trying to build a character from the bottom up.
Real humans are way less inherently funny than anime characters and cartoons.
I'm not saying in that aspect. I'm saying that it's easier to have a good actor do good comedy than trying to build a funny character from scratch.
See, I feel like we could make a podcast about that topic, actually. I from what I have seen, I personally think that live action comedy is incredibly difficult. It really is incredibly difficult. And there's like 50 years of TV TV live action comedy, and people say like if you look at like monumental live action comedy series, you're maybe looking at like 3 or 4. It's really difficult to make a mark in comedy. I feel like the entry point for like anime comedy is a lot easier because there's a lot of very easy tricks available. But then again, that's true for live action. I don't know.
I don't think there's any point in really saying something is easier than anything else. Either it's easier than the other. I don't think. I think
possibly.
Both. I think,
yeah, that very could be a pointless
yeah, I
argument.
don't think that is like. I don't like even like. I think both of them have their hardships, and that really is all there is to it. So I don't know. Don't think that talking about it more than that is necessary. It is kind of funny actually just to look at where we are now and see like the wave that we've ridden. I mean, because we're pretty far away at this point from is Moe killing. I mean, it was obvious
anime.
that was happened, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because none of us agree with that question.
So then,
I do think it is an interesting
discussion in a way, but
like you were asking, like what is Moe to you then?
I think Moe to me is kind of just a style more than anything else. It's a style. Like, it's pretty synonymous with cute as well for me. I feel like not all Moe is cute, but all cute is Moe.
I don't know if I'd agree with that. Because I mean, can
you? What? I'm open to suggestions here, but can you give me?
All right, like give me an
example of an anime that's cute but not Moe?
5 centimeters a second. Had some.
But is that cute? I thought that was a really sad anime.
I mean, like I could argue like the main heroine is really, really cute, but no, she doesn't. There are no elements of Moe in it. Like I wouldn't say all cute is Moe just because there are a lot of cute anime that don't. I wouldn't call Moe like a Norame Cantabile.
I agree with that.
Because I mean,
or Cheese Sweet Home.
Yeah.
That's kind of cute.
Nico from Kids Night.
Definitely not Moe.
I'm actually okay. So, but wouldn't we? So So I think a term I've seen for those kind of shows used a lot is comfy, right? Those examples you gave, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess you could apply that argument to Grimgar as well. Because Grimgar is pretty cute, but it's not Moe.
I think you could still call it. Yeah, I would still call it cute, like. But then I think it's really hard to say what's Moe because
yeah, definitely.
You have to take into account what audience
not
they're
as a
pushing
whole,
for.
But aspects.
I mean, like a show like Love Live.
I feel like I need more degrees, like more fucking university degrees to be able to define what Moe is. And I think at the end of the day, it would probably boil down to whatever the fuck you want it to mean.
Basically.
So, yeah,
pretty much.
But yeah, I don't know. it's something, for me, Moe is something that's never really done a whole lot to me. A show needs to have more going for it than Moe, or else I just get bored. And for the most part, the majority of Moe shows that I've ended up watching, I've watched because I found them really funny.
I mean, yeah, that's mainly that's the appeal of most Moe shows, really. They're trying to be funny and cute at the same time. I mean...
Yeah, but I guess it's cute. I guess it's a cute aspect of Moe that doesn't do much.
Okay, it does a lot for me.
If I was to put a finger on it. Yeah, I've noticed.
Like, yeah,
it's impossible to find out about.
Going back to like saying like a shows that are almost purely Moe, like AKB 0048. It's a show about a girl that lives on a planet, and it's a planet that has outright banned entertainment. And then you have
a perfect home for Moe.
Yes, but then you have space idols that travel planet to planet doing guerrilla concerts, and they call themselves the AKB 0048. Like the show was basically co-produced by the actual true AKB 48 and an anime company to make a show literally about a girl who wants to be a space idol and perform guerrilla concerts.
I've heard really, 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 really good things about the show. Actually,
it's really great. But if you don't,
it's a lot of things. That's a lot of different things that do nothing for me that you just said. One
like Tom, I don't think you would enjoy. Oh shit!
What just happened?
That was pretty dramatic.
What just happened?
Okay, well, Cal's dead.
Oh.
Alright, sorry about that.
Oh, okay.
Guardian Guma just came into his room and grew up.
No, I accidentally hit the play button on something, but yeah, Tom, I can almost definitely say you would not enjoy AKB 0048 without being...
I mean, based on the premise, yeah, I would agree, unless it really subverts that premise in unexpected ways. If it would have to either transcend or subvert.
It comes down to whether you enjoy idol anime or not.
I do not.
Then yeah, you would hate it.
Watch Local Doll. Local Doll is good.
I didn't like Local Doll. What Local Doll?
Because you're fucking Plummy.
I was going to say I don't dislike idol anime, but then I'd actually have to say I do, because I've talked about this before, but I can't watch idol anime without being made very, very clearly aware of just how gross idol culture is. And it's just kind of like the elephant in the room. Because I tried to watch Idolmaster, and it's just it's the fact that there's 12-year-old girls in it, and I'm just
the thing is, I've been under the impression that Idolmaster is one of the easier idol anime to get into.
I think. Oh yeah. So let's talk about idol industry really quick, because I tend to enjoy idols. I think that's obviously there's no way to actually defend idol industry. Idol industry is pretty bad at points, but I think that a lot of people, when talking about it like this, is kind of I guess quote unquote ignoring the good parts of it, because
but what are the good points?
It's hard for me to say it without sounding completely disgusting.
In the end,
say it, you fucking freak.
In the end, it's still something that these people they're not forced to do this. It's in the end, it's something they enjoy doing, and in the end, it's something they really do like. And the reason why they become idols usually is because they want to, and because they love idols, and because they want to be those themselves. And yeah, the industry is pretty fucking disgusting at times, and I hate a lot of what's happening there myself. But I think in the end, there's... I don't know. I think in the end, there's fun to be had. And I don't think that enjoying idols is a bad thing.
I guess so. I mean, if you don't know how the sausage is made, it's very easy to enjoy.
I don't necessarily mean it's fun for me, but fun for those people that are actually idols.
Oh, I see. I think a problem I have with idol industry is I don't like the idea of idolizing anybody.
That's a good point. It's for me.
I just don't. I don't agree with that. I feel like
idols aren't necessarily something to idolize. Idols are something to. It's more like it's personality
to derive entertainment from them.
Yeah, exactly. I like idols not because I'm idolizing them.
But they are idols though. They're not just
Like,
entertainers.
sorry.
Like if you look at the Japanese celebrity compared to Western celebrity, like I saw an article that really, really made me angry about a Japanese celebrity, a female Japanese celebrity who had an affair,
I know what you mean.
right?
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's AKB48.
And she was like breaking down, shaving her hair off, and I was
I know that one.
Why?
Yeah, that was
why? And like her career's
That's
over?
AKB.
Are you fucking serious?
Because like in the
Why
way
is this?
in their industry, like fan loyalty there's nothing like that is the top priority for idols in Japan. And like the fact that the member of AKB48 had an affair on the side.
I think loyalty is a really ironic word to use there.
It's really
because
ironic,
I feel like
but then,
idols are used and then discarded. Like as soon as an idol hits a certain age, she's out. That's not loyalty. That's the opposite.
well, yeah, like the whole idol
Like-
industry in Japan is all about sugarcoating.
Oh, yeah, that.
Because like instead of
Yeah, and that is idolizing.
yeah,
You're not,
I'm
that's
not saying
a
it's not
personal connection.
idolizing.
You're not
It's definitely
like.
it's definitely that. But like for them, it's a different world. It's not
I
like
know,
it's almost incomparable with Western entertainment.
Yeah, kind of. But it's.
I mean, the closest you could probably get is Disney. Disney.
Yeah, it is, and I feel like Disney is the worst part of Western celebrity culture. Like that part of like the Jonas Brothers and Miley Cyrus, all of that. I mean, it destroys people. Look at all of the people that come out of there; they turn out fucking insane. It genuinely destroys lives, and I worry that happens in Japan as well. Probably not as much, just because like drug culture's not as rampant.
But like back to
But
like the sugarcoating thing. Even you look at when idols get fired, they don't get fired. They call it graduation, like just to sugarcoat it.
I'm relatively glad.
I don't know. It's just stuff that really
I don't think that
it's
calling
unsettling
graduation
for me.
instead of firing is necessarily a bad thing, actually.
I mean, yeah, it's
It's sugarcoating, and that is a bad thing.
I mean, it's more positive. It's obviously more positive. It's
No, it's so, what it is, Jonas, is you are trying to put a positive word on a negative thing that is disingenuous.
like all right. It's easy. It's understandable the gross culture when you see that this girl that was basically shunned from the idol industry. All right, she had an affair, but then to the industry that is viewed as like the ultimate taboo. It basically means losing your purity for the fans.
Yeah, that is something
off.
that's genuinely disgusting. That is true.
Yeah.
That statement right there could not sum up my disgust for the idol and anime anymore. The idea of purity. Human beings are not pure. Like, what do they think these girls are?
I mean, yeah,
like, actually, it's delusional. It's fucking delusional, and it can't be good for their fucking mental health.
And listen, that kind of stuff is quite disgusting, and it's pretty terrible. I'm not going to try and defend like the entirety of the idol industry. There's so much shit in that. It's just wrong in every sense of the word. I just don't think that damning the entire. This is really hard to defend properly.
But Jonas, I feel like the place of
instead of trying to defend the idol industry because it's fucking trash, and I don't think anyone should bother. Idol anime, I view independent of the idol industry because they're fucking fictional characters.
Yeah.
So I think
my point is that it reminds me of it.
But then,
then you can what you can do is watch anime that's tangentially related to the idol industry. Like Hana Yamada, for example, is a show that feels like an idol show, but isn't an idol show because their goal isn't to become famous or anything. It's not to be involved in the idol industry. It's just to perform something that they enjoy.
had a great OP.
Maybe. But like, I guess Macross would probably be like that as well because
Macross is very much
Macross
Putting
is
robots,
like very much idle.
Putting your idols on robots really helps for me to forget about the idol
And then
industry.
it also loops back to like the disgusting factor because it's.
I feel like actually, I was just going to say the idea of they aren't real people, so you can't. Like, I still empathize with anime characters, and when you're really immersed in an anime, you want to believe they're real people. That's what makes great anime great, right? So I feel like trying to shut yourself off from that isn't doing anyone any favors.
It makes it 10 times easier to create an air of purity about an anime character.
Stop saying purity, please. You're filamentizing me so hard, dude.
But yeah, I tend to enjoy idol anime. It's. I mean, I agree with Tom here that it's like just saying just completely ignoring the negative parts of an industry just because because we're watching a fictional version of it is necessarily a good thing. Because like obviously those shows do very much idolize, weirdly enough, every single part of idol industry, and they very much celebrate idol industry as a whole. So I think straight up ignoring even the bad parts about it is not necessarily a good idea.
It's really hard to talk about it without getting into the disgusting part. Or, I mean...
Yeah, it's...
But then, to me, I don't like calling it disgusting because there are those disgusting factors that I do enjoy about idol anime. It's the same as like when I go to like Miku Expo and
obviously, it's human nature,
I'm cheering
right?
on and waving my arms with light sticks at a hologram idol.
That's just human nature. That's the reason why the idol industry exists the way it is because it's human nature to want something to be pure. The problem is when you're applying those concepts to human beings, which aren't pure and aren't any of these things. You're just trying to create create fiction within reality, and I just feel like it's harmful.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been talking about... I feel like we've said all we need to say on idol stuff. Again, we're very far away from Izumori killing anime.
Like,
that was always going to be a dead-end topic to begin with, really.
I mean, I'm trying to kind of, like, justify the fact that I do indeed like idols without sounding like a disgusting person right now. It's hard.
I think maybe, Jonas, you just need to accept yourself for who you are, dude. Maybe,
fuck off.
Maybe...
I mean, I just have to take a look at...
Jonas, it's okay. It's okay. It's just human nature. You're not...
I think I'm okay with being a disgusting idol lover.
There you go. You just need to accept yourself.
I mean, all I have to do is just look, just look to my right and see this display cabinet, and I accept myself.
I don't have any idol figures yet.
Okay. To wrap things up, I wanna chat to Lou for a bit.
Yo, what up?
Yo, dude. So, I want to talk to you about MangaPod, dude.
Yeah. Let's talk
There's
about
a few
MangaPod.
things. Okay, so the main thing I need to ask you.
Yes.
Have you read Tower of God? And are MangaPod going to cover Tower of God again?
We've done it a few times.
I know. I've seen all of those episodes, but I don't think I don't think MangaPod's done a Tower of God episode with you on it, right?
I will spoil part of the next schedule for you because we're still in the process of creating it. It's going to be one of the first things we read next time.
Yes. Okay. Good, because Tower of God's been really good lately. So have you not read any of it yet? Then?
Oh no, I've read everything that has been assigned and everything that we've canceled. So I think up to 200. I think somewhere around there.
Chapter 200. We're on chapter 199 at the minute.
I don't remember.
I believe.
I know I got pretty far into it, so
what do you think? What do you think?
I think it's fucking phenomenal. I love Tower of God.
Yeah, excellent. I like you more. Tower of God is my favorite piece of media across all forms.
It's in my top 10 for sure. For manga, it's in my top 10. I don't know, man. Almost top 5, but the thing is that my top 5 manga are pretty much concrete. I don't see them ever changing, which they're Oyasumi Ponpon, Molester Man, Villain Saga, Onani Master Kurosawa, and I don't know, man. That number 5 spot is kind of hard for me. Maybe 20th Century Boys, but like just like right in that right in the periphery of it, I would say is Tower of God.
Yeah,
it's real great. I love it.
I've never been as inspired reading anything as reading Tower of God, and I don't know really what it is about it. It's just I kind of feel like the SIU when he was writing it, it's like going back to the days when like poets would go into opium dens. Like, how the fuck has he come up with this stuff? It's like, I don't know. There's just so much about it that I think is super special, and it speaks to me on a very personal level.
I totally
so that's
get
cool.
It, no, it's a fantastic read, and I think everybody should give it a shot. And you'd be surprised with how quickly it goes. Like it's dense, but you will immerse yourself completely in it.
I should read it sometime.
Mm-hmm. I would like that a lot, Jonas.
We should make a manga pod style episode sometime. In terms of manga, instead of like reviewing.
Yeah, the problem is I just don't. And this is my problem. Like, Manga Pod is the podcast that I want to listen to the most, but can't because I don't read manga. Like, it's. It breaks my heart, especially with you joining, Lou. I'm just like, oh, I really should. Like, what are they reading now? Okay, I really should read that, but I know I'm not going to. So, I'm just gonna sulk. And
the safe bet, and this is how I was before I joined. I made it a point to listen to the ones that have anime adaptations that I've seen. So, for example, let's say another one. Again, spoiling the schedule early, that we're going to be reading again is Tokyo Ghoul. And it's well within what was covered in the anime. So if you've seen the anime, that's an episode that you can watch because you won't be spoiling yourself and you'll understand what's going on in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, there have been some I've been able to watch, like Berserk I've watched, and there's more. I'm blanking, but yeah, I just don't feel like... I don't go out of my comfort zone with manga. Like, almost all of the manga I've read is from anime adaptations where I've been like, I need more, so I read the manga. So, that's like Fairy Tail, Attack on Titan, Shokugeki no Soma, Berserk.
We're actually doing an episode on Soma in 2 weeks.
Yay! I'll be there for that. I'll absolutely be there for that. I love Soma so much. It's so good.
Great.
And it shouldn't be, but
it's really, really fun. I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah. Oh, me neither, dude.
The full action arc is finally finishing. Oh, it's going to be great.
I know. And it's so good as well. It's so good. The ending to that.
I've read some of it. It's so good.
But yeah, so how's Manga Pod going, dude?
It's going well. I don't know. It's still an experience every time before I hop on a call. Like, just trying to put myself in the mindset of, yeah, this is a group. I belong to it. This is, I guess, like, I feel part of the show. You get me? I feel like I can take ownership of it now because I've been with the group for about 1.5 years. Yeah. So, it's just...
Wow,
yeah.
Holy shit.
It's been since January of 2015 is when I started.
It feels way longer it feels way shorter than that for some reason. Not sure why.
Time has flown by.
It really is. Wow.
I mean, we've had our panel at Anime Expo.
True.
We've done meetups.
What year was that?
It was last year.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean,
were you there, Kyle?
I went there, but I didn't know about you guys back then.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
So
I was just busy arguing
it's on
best
YouTube.
fake girls with people.
We filmed it, and it's...
I was busy arguing best fake girls with people last year.
Oh, dude, that's a fun argument to have. No worries, man. The panel's on YouTube if you ever decide to give it a look.
Yoki on that panel was really good.
And I was pretty drunk during the panel, so that was great.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people
they sat
do
me
that.
down. They sat me down and they're like, Lou, you're really not allowed to curse. Please. And I was like, well, I've been drinking all day, so I'll try.
No, because I remember you from like the first time I was like getting into the community, I guess, and you were like, was it sitting by the window, right? Was your, yeah, that's right. And I was following you on Twitter and stuff like before you joined MangaPod, so I was so happy when you got on it, and I was like that's the part that really bums me out, because I was like, oh, Lou's getting on MangaPod, I need to try and read some manga so I can watch it now, and I just feel like I failed at that. I should just pick an episode and be like, okay, I want to read this, and just do that, rather than like the lofty ambition of like keeping up. Just be like, okay, I'm going to read this and I'm going to watch that episode.
Well, I mean, you're caught up on Tower of God, so yeah.
Yeah, what would you recommend then? Like for people,
I would wait honestly until we finalize the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what I would recommend.
For,
and then from there,
for episodes MangaPod's put out, yeah.
Okay,
so people, because I'm sure there must be more people like me who can't really read all that manga every week, you know?
All right, so essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend some of the manga that I enjoyed and manga that I think have yielded some good episodes. So like Vinland Saga is definitely one of them. It's in my top 5. If you like Berserk, you will like Vinland Saga.
Yasumi Pum Pum.
Okay, cool.
Yasumi Pum Pum, definitely. Molester Man, definitely. And what's good about Poon Poon and Molester Man is they're both finished.
Mm.
So you could probably go through and read the whole thing and enjoy them. Same with Onani Master Kurosawa. Which, if you'd like a summary on Molester Man and Onani Master Kurosawa, they're done by the same artist. They're both doujins. Onani Master translates the English title as Masturbation Master Kurosawa.
And I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah, there's just lots of jizz, but it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, nice.
Molester Man, the story is on, or the way it came to be was someone started posting a story on 2chan, and basically that thread was translated into a manga. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And they're both like things that like both those manga are easily ones that you can read in one day.
Mm. I want to read.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely check.
I want to get into reading more manga again, but like I don't know. I've kind of started to really not want to read anything that's not done yet, because like being caught up then and like not having anything else is really painful at times. Like I had that with Ballroom of Yokoso recently, where I've read all of it in like 2 days or something, and then I was caught up and I didn't. There was no more of it. I was really sad for the 3 following days. It's I don't know. I'd rather like read something that's actually done already. So I'm probably just gonna for the new schedule, I'm probably just gonna look at like whatever you guys are reading that's done and read that as well. So
yeah. I feel like for me the best way to work it is just go back and like pick an episode and focus on that and just be like, okay, I'm gonna read this manga, because it might take me like a month to get through it if it's long. So, but yeah, I don't think there's that many manga podcasts out there, right? So it's kind of cool for you guys to be like so big in that space.
I think there's like maybe 1 or 2 on iTunes that are rated a little bit more highly than us, but I don't think we ever keep up with releasing things on iTunes because it's kind of a pain in the ass. So yeah.
I mean, you're a video podcast.
There's that.
So it's not really all that much point putting it in on iTunes.
Yeah, but it's still something we get a lot of requests for.
Okay.
Like to throw it on, like for somewhere for people to download.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, I actually listen to the most of my podcasts through iTunes, actually, because you just like throw it on in your car, you connect with 3G, you just stream an episode through the podcast app. It's so easy.
I haven't.
And the YouTube app is garbage.
Yeah, I have an
so
Android phone, so yeah, I guess. It's
like they want you to get YouTube. I saw this actually. YouTube, one of YouTube's Red's advertised features is that you can listen to something outside of the YouTube app. So you can like lock the screen on your phone or whatever, and it will still play the audio. I'm like, how the fuck can you charge for that feature?
on Windows Phone you don't have to have Red. I found that out.
Yeah. That's the best argument for getting a Windows Phone I've ever heard, but I cannot believe they're charging for that. That's so slimy. Okay, so I feel like we should wrap up. Just to summarize, guys, is anime dead?
no. Fuck no.
Was it Moe in the kitchen with a candlestick?
Fuck no.
No? Okay, just checking. Because, we have to confirm these things, because you don't know. Maybe anime's been dead, and we just never realised.
Anime's actually a zombie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, zombie anime. Right, well, thanks everyone for listening. I've been Tom, and I've been joined by Jonas.
See you next time.
Kyle.
I'll see you.
And Lou.
Later, Plormies.
Yeah. Alright, see you, nerds.